What's up, guys? So this week of training was a little bit new because I started a new training block. So this is titled HPS2, and again, HPS stands for Hypertrophy, Power, and Strength. And that just means that it's a 6 times a week program. It's alternating lower and upper body days. Actually, this time I'm starting with upper days, and I'm having 2 hypertrophy days, 2 power days, and 2 strength days. So there's going to be some differences in this program from the last program, but there's a lot more in common. So I'll probably talk about things that are different as I go along. The first thing here that you'll see on this hypertrophy day is I switched out front squats for high bar pause squats. And the reason for doing that is just my front squat form is pretty damn horrendous, and I don't even feel like I'm getting a lot out of it at this point. It's just more of an issue of trying to not injure myself when I'm doing it. So I feel like doing a high bar back squat, it's not probably as beneficial for me as a front squat, but again, it's what I can do at this time with my mobility. So I'm also doing a very long pause. This is a 3-second, pretty much just counting to 3 in the hole. This was a relatively light load today. That's just because I'd done a front squat before this, and I wanted to kind of get some more work in. So next week I expect to hit, maybe somewhere in the 265, 275 range. I'll probably still stay in the higher rep ranges here, so a set of 6. That is kind of a higher rep range when you think about it, because the reps are taking a lot longer. So when you think about the total time over tension, it's still quite a bit. So yeah, I just kind of same thing there. I had 8s with normal squats, and then I'll be doing 2 kind of lighter sets that'll be high bar pause squats. Moving on to my power day. This was one of the differences I made. So I pulled deadlifts from my lower strength day, and now they're on my lower power day. The reason for doing that, so I can actually start with these on this day. So I'll actually pull first, and then I will squat afterwards, like some quote-unquote speed work. And it just helps me because I'm a lot more fresh when I do these deadlifts now. Again, my last cycle, I didn't do any pulls until I'd already done 3 AMRAP sets of squats. So again, I'm far from fresh there, and I feel like now putting this as the first lift of the day on this lower power will allow me to progress a lot more with my deadlift. And this was actually a PR here for a set of 5, so this was 85% of my training max. That was a 395 for 5 there. Then I moved on to these speed squats. So again, my power will be a little bit different. Last training cycle, I did a 5x1 to start off, and now I'm doing a 6x3. I think that will go a 6x3 for 2 weeks, then a 5x2 for 2 weeks, and then a 4x1 for 2 weeks. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm also being a lot more adamant about the rest periods on my power stuff. So I didn't film the bench press, but same thing. I'm sticking at 2 minutes, and I'm usually having the stopwatch run for about minute 40 and minute 45, and then walking over to the racks. And it probably takes me at least 15 to 20 seconds to actually unrack the weight. So yeah, this 335 for 6 sets of 3 on paper doesn't look heavy at all, but considering my rest periods are probably half what they would normally be, it definitely wasn't as easy as it may seem. But again, the whole purpose of that is just to kind of get some more practice in, and that's a lot more practice than I would have had in my last power days, considering I'm doing 18 reps now as opposed to just 5. Moving on to upper strength. So this was, again, AMRAP, as many reps as possible at 85%. So this is a 225 set. This was the set of 5 I had, and I hit a set of 6 after this, which was a PR for me. I was a little nervous about the set of 6 because I didn't have a spotter, but I hit it, and maybe I would have had a set of 7 in me, considering these benches are actually really, really small, so you kind of have to do like a half press to get it out of the rack, and also it's kind of the fear of being crushed. So having the set of 6 was really good. I think the my AMRAP at 85% to start the last cycle was 220 for a set of 4. It was, I think, 3 sets of 4, so I'm actually doing 5 more pounds to start this cycle, and I had 2 more reps. So yeah, things are going really well so far that week. So far in the week, I had 2 PRs. It was on this deadlift set of 5, which was AMRAP, and also the bench press. Moving on to probably my best workout of the week. This was my AMRAP at 85% again of squats, and the number was actually 370. I forgot what I started the last train cycle with, but going with theme, I probably was looking for maybe a set of like 5 to 6 here. As I warmed up, I really thought I had a lot more in me, and I was thinking even maybe like a set of 8 would be manageable. And then it was kind of strange because I usually get a lot closer to my working sets when I warm up. But I actually only hit 315 and then jumped straight to 370 here. So that might be something that I can play with because this went very well. I hit 370 for 9. And again, it wasn't really a strength issue that I think was holding me back here. I think it was more of just the pain on my wrist for holding it for that long, and also kind of like cardiovascular. So definitely 370 doesn't feel like much of strength work for me anymore. Being able to pop out 4 or 5 reps without really even thinking about it felt really good. I think that's my 9th rep there. And it looks a little like sketchy, but the speed really never slowed down, which is something that I always kind of look at, and if I can measure, is a really good measure for me as far as just how hard the lift was, is not just looking at my face or whatever like that. If the bar's moving quickly or if it's moving slowly, that kind of is a objective way to tell you how it was. And then after that, a set of 9, I actually hit a set of 7, which I was still pretty happy with. I left like at least a rep in the tank here because I knew I had a 3rd set coming up. And that 3rd set, you'll see coming up here, didn't go great. I just didn't have the greatest bar positioning, so I wasn't incredibly comfortable. But nonetheless, this training week went very well. To give you an update on my body weight, I woke up this morning at 179.6. My average for this week is probably in the low 179s, which is kind of what I'm going for at the end of April. I've really been trying to add like a pound and a half per month the past few months, and I'll probably kind of continue to do that over the summer. As long as I'm continuing to gain strength, that's really what's important. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I hit PRs on all big 3 of the lifts this week, and I'll talk about my other kind of adjustments that I've made to this program next week. And yeah, so thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.